Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. We can begin the session. If you have any questions or concerns, any doubts regarding the topics or any lecture modules or graded assignments, practice assignments, you can raise them now. Just raise your hand so that we don't end up speaking over each other. Okay. Yes. You can ask Varun.
Yes, ma'am. I got a mail regarding handwritten assignments. Is it there for
Hmm.
this course or they for different courses, ma'am?
No, we don't have any handwritten assignments. I probably guess you could have gotten for other courses.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
ma'am. Thank you.
which course are you from? Are you from English 2 or 1?
Oh, one, ma'am. But this
1.
term I've only opted for English, so I'm not sure what is going on in the other courses.
Okay. So we don't have any writing assignments for English 1, which are graded. Okay. We don't have any as such for English 1. And even for English 2, the ones that has a writing prompt is not for grading. So nothing from our part.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Sure. Right. Others, any questions? You can ask your questions. This is a session that is run only for the doubt clearance part. Please raise the questions if you have any, if you need any clarity on any concept, or if you did not understand a question in the assignments, please feel free to ask and get it clarified.
Ma'am, I have a doubt in activity 3.1.
Yeah, please let me know the question. Whatever it is, we'll look at it.
Okay.
You can type out the question in the chat if you want.
Can you share a screen?
Can you share the screen? Yeah, you can, I guess. Which one are you? English 1 or 2?
I'm from English 1.
Huh? English 1.
Ma'am,
Sorry, I didn't get you. English 1 or 2?
English 1.
English 1. What? Huh? Take the question. Okay. Yeah, which, what was the question again? Sorry, the number? Won't it be different for
Question
different
number
people
13.
because it is
Question-
practice assignment? EQ 3.1. It was 3.1, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, what is your doubt in the question?
Uh, Vigorous meaning. In
Sorry?
in that paragraph, what is the meaning of vigorous? I'm not understanding this.
Meaning of is it digress?
Should I share a screen if you are not
Just let me
sharing?
know the spelling, no?
D-I-G-O-R-O-U-S.
D-I-G-O-R-O-U-S. Huh? Okay. Oh, it's vigorous.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Uh, vigorous means, something that is done industriously, right? Or vigorous activity means something that um, is done with, a lot of energy, I think, right? Energetic, that's what. I think the answer also mentions the same.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
Energetic.
something that is energetic as opposed to, see, look up the meaning in the dictionary or online, right? You can do that always.
Ma'am,
It's
because
not
my
difficult to do
vocab is
that.
not so strong.
Sorry?
My vocab is not a strong vocabulary. So because different type of meanings come in activity, then
Yeah.
I don't
So if you are
able to.
encountering a word that you do not know, like say, for example, you don't know anything, this is the first time you're seeing it, then it's okay to look it up on your dictionary sources, whether it's online or offline. Then try to read it in the sentence given to understand the context in which this has been used. So next time when you see this word, then you know both the meaning as well as the context in which you have read it. It's right that they can be used in several contexts. So at least when you check the meaning and go back to the given passage, you will understand one of the context in which it is used, right? And of course, then you can you can go online and see, look for articles where this is done, right? It's easy to do these things these days. But to begin with, the first thing you can do is look up the meaning and then go back to the passage again, read it within the passage to see, how this word, in what context has this word been used, at least in that given passage. At least one meaning is retained in that way. Okay, do that. So vocabulary acquisition is an activity that takes a lot of time. It's a skill that is acquired through constant practice and drilling. It won't come immediately to, of course. You'll have to take up other additional activities like, rigorous reading, listening. You need to expose yourself more to the language. Only then all the possible contexts and the possible meanings of the given word would come to you. Okay.
So can you share like most important meanings which came in exam? Can you share
So there
group
is
form?
nothing called most important meanings, right? There would be a set of meanings that would be associated with a word, and each of those meanings would become active in the given context, right? So when you learn the meaning of a word, it's basically learning the context in which it is used, which is why contextual understanding is important. So this can come only through reading. You cannot have a list of meanings for all the words prepared as a list, right? It's difficult to, there are so many words. There could be so many words of which the meaning you may not know. So it's not practical to have a list of them and then try to learn them. The best way is to engage with them, meet them in the context, and then know that, okay, this is the context where I can use this word, right? And this is the meaning associated with it. So nothing called most important meanings. Meanings are meanings. They could be used in various contexts. Okay.
So we have to find out the meaning on the with the basis of passage.
Yes, exactly. Try to do that when you get the passage. Read in and around that sentence. Like read a sentence that goes before the given sentence with the word. Read the one after that. Read the overall passage to understand. What could be the purpose of the word used in that passage. And if it is still difficult for you, if you still think that there is lesser clarity, then of course the next thing that you can do is look up, right? You have your dictionary or you have your online sources. Look it up so it will become clearer. But I'm sure that when you as you read it, right, a lot of it would be clear from the reading of the passage itself. Whatever you think is unclear, of course you can look it up. Okay, but most of the times it's enough to read the passage and the sentence is in and around the sentence with the word. Most of the times that is enough.
Yes, ma'am.
Sure. Somebody else's hands were raised, but I did not check who it was. You can ask your question if you're still around. Raghavendra, you can ask your question.
Ma'am, I have a doubt about our quiz one will be held on 23rd Feb, right?
23rd of February, right?
And today is the 5th Feb, and we have last date of to submit a week 3 assignment. And on quiz one, we need to give I mean we give exams of week 4 to week 8 of lectures, right?
For quiz one, it
For
should be week 1 to 4.
for quiz one, it will be week 1 to 4, and
Yes,
for quiz two,
5 to 8. Oh, 1 to 8. Yeah, 1 to 8. Quiz one,
okay.
I don't think even your videos would be released now for doing week 8 and all. Right? The
Yes,
videos
ma'am,
would be released.
we have get only week 1 to 4. I just think we okay, ma'am. And
No, for
quiz 2
quiz
we
one,
have,
it is week 1 to 4.
and quiz 2 1 to 8,
Yes,
and end term will be 1 to 12.
yes,
Okay, okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
sure.
Ma'am, I have a query.
Yeah,
Can
go
I?
ahead, Neil.
If, for example, we have cleared week 1 and 2 assignments and we have qualified for quiz 1 that is going to be held on February 23, then week 3 and 4 assignments are also compulsory, or they are like we can skip that? I mean, today is the deadline, the 5th February is the deadline for week 3. Is it compulsory for us to complete week 3 and 4 even if we have qualified for quiz 1?
If you're qualified for the quiz one, it's not necessary that you should complete.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Nehal, I think you should read your grading document carefully. We also are a bit confused about that. Uh, does it say that if you have finished both your first 2 weeks, you're automatically able to take the qualifier exam? If it is explicitly mentioned in the document, then that should be the case. Okay.
Grading document, is it on the home page?
Grading document should be on the dashboard somewhere. Yes. You can visit the dashboard for the course, not for the course, for your program. And there will be a section on, there'll be one tab for the grading document. If it explicitly mentions the statement, please follow that. But I think given the fact that today is the deadline, do not take that risk. Maybe just submit the assignment, to be safe.
Sure, ma'am. Actually, I've completed 3 of the assignments. One is still pending. That's why I asked.
Okay. Yeah. So in case there's a lack of clarity, please check the grading document again. If it says what you said explicitly, then you can do that. Otherwise, maybe just submit, in case.
Okay.
Sure.
Ma'am, can you explain collocation?
Yeah, sure. Collocations, they are basically pairs of words that frequently appear together, right? So it's not like a random combination of 2 words. And this combination could be, the simplest example I can give you is the combination between, say, an adjective and a noun, right? So if you have something like, say, red chair, right? I'll just maybe leave the pairs in the chat. So if you have, say, something like red chair, right? This is not called a collocation, right? Why? Because both the words in the combination can be easily replaced with something else, right? So it's not necessary that every time I have the adjective red with me, the chair comes as a pair to it automatically, right? Chair is not a by default combination with the word red, right? And so is the case with the word chair. If I have a word like chair, then red is not like a by default combination for chair. It could be yellow chair, it could be black chair, it could be iron chair, it could be wooden chair, right? Similarly, red could be red coat, red pen, red bottle, red scarf, right? So this is not called a collocation. Now, what is a collocation? Collocation is when two words they always or more frequently appear together. The chances of them appearing with other kinds of adjectives or other kind of nouns. I'm saying adjectives and nouns because that is the example I've taken here. The point is these collocated pairs, they probably, their chance of appearing with too many other nouns or too many other adjectives would be a little limited, right? So for example, say you have something like heavy rain, right? Now, again, this is a combination of an adjective and a noun. Okay. So you can say heavy rain, you can say a heavy chair, you can say a heavy bag, right? But can you say healthy rain? No, right? Can you say strong rain? No. You can't say weighty rain. Although, words like heavy and weighty, they almost have similar meanings, right? But although both the words have similar meanings, you probably can't say weighty rain. You always have to say heavy rain, right? Every time you need to talk about, too much of rain, right? You would say heavy rain, right? You won't say weighty rain, or you won't say strong rain. You say strong wind, but you don't say strong rain, right? So these are so frequently used together that they've become like a set expression in languages, right? Which is why they're called collocated pairs. Collocation basically means frequently co-occurring together. Okay, that's the idea. And the combinations can be with anything. It can be a combination between, we have looked at an example for combinations between adjective and noun. Now this combination can be between an adverb and an adjective, can be between a verb and an adjective, verb and a noun, right? A preposition and a noun. So there are several such combinations available in all languages, not just English, right? This is the idea of collocation. Okay, they appear together always. And they're not easily form groups or pairs with all kinds of words possible with them. Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
When simple word came, then we can make easily collocation. But like difficult word come, suppose far reaching.
If this is also one part of collocation, not the simple words, by which I think you mean the ones which are very ordinarily used, right? Usually words that are used for common purposes, they occur very limitedly as collocated pairs. The ones which you're referring to as difficult ones are not difficult. They probably look difficult because of their collocated use. Okay. So if it's a collocated use, then they only appear in certain contexts, like I was talking to you before, right? And if it appears in only certain contexts, then it means it's not a common thing. It doesn't come often, right? The difficulty level is basically because of this lesser number of appearances, right? And this can be solved only by the same remedy that we suggest for every other issue you ask, reading. Okay. Or in one word, exposure. The more you expose yourself to the language, you will easily understand what is a collocated pair. Okay. You'll know the context, right? Difficulty level comes from this, because you're not aware, because you're not reading, okay, you're not exposed enough to that. So do that, on your part, and it will start getting better if you're putting in enough efforts. Okay.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. There's somebody else's hand raised. Okay, you can go on. You can ask your question, no problem.
Will the quiz one be offline or online?
Quiz one would be offline and online. We've never had offline exams until now. Most of it is online, right? So it's a computer-based test, right? Yeah, it's a computer-based test, right? Yeah. So you take your exams at centers, right? If that is what you meant by offline, there is nothing called taking an online exam in this one. Okay?
I mean, for quiz one, do we have to go to centers, or we can write from home?
Yes, you have to go to the centers. That's right. You need to go to the center that is allocated to you, take the exams there. You don't get to take it from your home at your desk. Okay,
Okay, ma'am.
sure. Nehal, you can go ahead and ask your question now.
Ma'am, are modal words a part of auxiliary words or they are different from auxiliary words?
Yes,
Verbs.
modal verbs are also a type of auxiliary verbs. Okay, so in that they behave a bit like auxiliaries. They appear along with the main verb. They're called auxiliaries because they can't be used on their own. They need the support of a main verb, right? Which is why they're also called as modal auxiliaries sometimes.
The auxiliary verbs have many different parts of one is modal. What are the other types of auxiliary verbs are there?
Yeah, I mean, auxiliary is not like a distinctive category. Auxiliary is just a word that you use to describe the function of the verb, right? So auxiliary basically simply means something that helps the main verb to express a certain kind of action, right? Some specificities about the action. So models also do the same thing. The difference is that unlike auxiliaries, models they can't stand on their own. Okay, they definitely need a main verb to express themselves.
Okay, so can we say that all other verbs that are not action words, verbs
Yeah.
are auxiliary verbs?
No, not really, because you have action verbs and you also have something called state verbs. Okay. So, for example, verbs like appear or seem or feel or think. Okay. These are all, they're not action words. They're what you call as stative or state verbs. They're also verbs. They're also counted as main verbs. Okay. So, they don't require auxiliaries all the time.
Ma'am, there are emotion noun as well. For example, happy and happiness.
Yeah.
So, are like you said that feel is a verb. How could we define that the emotion is a verb or a noun?
That's based on the usage. If you say, I feel happy, then happy is what there.
Okay, it's a noun here, and feel is a verb.
Happy is not a noun there. If I say I feel happy, what is that? Happy is not noun. Happy is an adjective there. And feel is your verb, right? Happiness is noun, not happy. Happy is adjective. They're
Okay.
happy person, right? I mean, happy is used in the predicative form there. So happy is still an adjective. Okay? And happiness is your noun. Feel is your verb.
But I feel happy, so adjective should be for some noun, right? Here, what noun does this happy is
It's
referring
talking
to?
about the subject I. It's it also modified for the subject I. It's talking about how the subject feels, right?
Okay,
Yeah.
understood.
Which is why it's a predicative usage, right? Instead of saying I'm a happy person, I can also say I'm happy. That's all.
Okay, yeah, wait, that way, understood.
Yeah. Alok Kumar, you can ask your question now. Alok?
Hello, am I
Yeah.
audible, ma'am?
Yeah, you're audible, but your voice sounds very low to me. But it's okay. Go ahead, ask your question.
Ma'am, I qualified the qualifier for the September term. But I joined the course foundation level of course from 2025 January term. What will the Q1 and Q2 for me? Because I
Sorry,
qualified.
Alok, you are not clear. We are not able to hear you clearly. At least I'm not able to hear you clearly. Try to speak a little louder.
Ma'am, I have a little question about the course. I have qualified the qualifier which is held for September 2024 term, but I joined the course from 2025 January term. Then what will be the Q1 and Q2 for me because I qualified the qualifier in September term? There's any criteria to qualify
Even
the
you
Q1?
even you have qualified in September 2024, your
Yes.
quiz one will be syllabus for weeks 1 to week 4. You'll have to take it as quiz 1 and not as qualifier exam.
Okay. Okay. And for
It
quiz
means
2,
quiz one and our qualifier exam lectures are same.
See, the syllabus for English 1 qualifier and those who are doing it in foundation level, okay, that is as term student, it's going to be the same syllabus for week 1 to 4. The
week
syllabus for
1 to
quiz
4.
1 or qualifier is week 1 to 4. Just that you have already qualified in the previous term and you have registered for the course in the recent term, that is Jan 2025 term. But still you will be taking it as quiz 1.
Okay, thank you.
For others it will be qualifier, for you it will be quiz 1.
Okay. For quiz 2, there's for week 1 to week 8, right?
Week 1 to week 8, yes.
Thank you.
Ma'am, when will exam takes place? At which month?
February 23rd is going to be your qualifier exam. If you are in, I mean, for everybody, it is the same date. Yeah, quiz 1 is Feb 23.
Ma'am, will it be okay if we study from YouTube because I've missed some live classes?
Study what? If you're asking about self-study, you can choose any medium that helps you understand the concepts. But if you're planning to skip the lecture videos, you can do that at your own risk. At least go through the slides properly. You still have time because it's only on Feb 23.
Ma'am, I share two words, eccentric and scenic in chat. Can you explain the pair of collocation of these words? Eccentric. I share in chat.
No, I did not get your question. I saw the words, but
Collocation. Collocation pair.
Yeah.
Of these two words.
Collocation of these two words.
Yes, ma'am. They are in activity 3.
Okay, so there should be some pair available, no? If you just give me this, then you know.
Can you open
They
3.2
probably
activity?
have a set of words along with them.
No, this is like a mesh following.
Just a moment, let us look at it. The question is incomplete. I do not know how to answer it. We'll figure out the question and...
Can you open 3.2 activity?
Scenic and eccentric. Yeah, it has to be scenic view and eccentric behavior. That's the easiest one that goes with it, right? This is from the list that you have. I just access the question and from the list you have scenic means anything that is scenic means what? Scenic means anything that looks picturesque, right? Something that looks like a landscape beauty, as you say. Right? Scenic is usually used when you want to call something wonderful, right? Something that looks like a canvas, a natural canvas. That's what we mean by scenic.
And eccentric.
But I want to ask you a question again, right? A lot of questions that you're asking are related to word and meaning. Is it difficult to look up these words and their meanings? I want to know why it is difficult.
I'm just reading these words first time. That's why I'm not understanding meaning.
Correct. You're reading it for the first time, which is why you should be more cautious. You should look back. You should see what this means and see how they are used. See, right now you just looked at that, right? You have a collocated pair, scenic, what is that? Scenic view, right? So then go back and check, how you use this thing, right? Otherwise, just knowing this is scenic view right here or, knowing the meaning right now is not going to help you acquire the language, right? The purpose here is that you learn how to use the English language. So After you know this thing, you need to go back and check how this is used, for which you will have to do your referencing back, circling back, right? Go to a proper written article or at least a sentence, if not an article, to see how this is used, right? So do that. Don't just focus on the meaning of the word individually. Learn and try to focus on the use of the phrase, whether it's a collocated pair or whether it's an individual word. Make an effort to know how it is used in the actual spontaneous speech or in writing. Okay. Otherwise, it won't stay with you. You can't retain all the meanings, right? It's impossible for people. That kind of infinite memory we do not hold as human beings. So which is why we need to make connections and associations to understand meanings of words. Okay. Okay. The next was what eccentric behavior. Eccentric behavior is what? What do you think it is? Eccentric behavior. Do you think it's a positive thing or a negative thing? Or do you think it is something
Yeah, I
off?
think, yeah, positive behavior or negative behavior, it can be like that.
What is it? I'm asking you, what do you think it is? So say I give you a sentence like, Mr. X has an eccentric behavior. It is difficult to be around him. If this is the sentence I have, what kind of meaning do you decipher of eccentric behavior? Do you think it is a good thing or a bad thing?
Can you repeat again?
Not good or bad in that sense. Do you think it's bad, right? Or say it doesn't, let's not use the word bad. Let's say it has got some shades of negativity to it, right? Or it is perceived as negative. Maybe it's not negative per se, but maybe say the larger society or people don't get it as something that is good enough or something that is positive, right? So learn to take your expressions back to sentences like this, put them in context so that you understand it better. Okay. So I know the meaning, so I've come up with a sentence. In case you do not know, just internet is your friend. It's a great source of knowledge. Get back to that place, and you can straight away ask Google a question. Show me a sentence with this phrase, or write a sentence to me with this phrase. Utilize the resources that you have, right?
So not only we should see the meaning, but also we should see the how to use this word in sentence.
Yes, absolutely. That is what we are supposed to know, right? Okay. Meanings will help us, but for a short term, right? But knowing the use of the word or the phrase concerned is what is going to stay with us for long. That is what will account for our fluency, right? Just knowing the meaning won't help us. Okay, Alok, you have a question? Sure. No
Yes,
problem.
ma'am.
Yeah. Yeah, Alok, I saw your hands raised. You have a question?
Yes, ma'am. I have a little question. Because when I see the lectures of because first of all I'm a student of English 1. Okay. When I see the lectures, I'm able to understand all the concepts which is discussed in the lecture comfortably. I can understand every concept. But when I go to the solving the assignments like activity questions, practice assignments, or related assignments, then I feel there's a lack of clarifications about the lack of practice. Then there's any prescribed book for English learning?
Okay. Are you doing all the practice assignments and everything that's given to you?
Yes, ma'am.
You are. So if that is not sufficient, then like I told you, you can see as far as book is concerned, pick up anything. But the problem with picking up book would be you will have to browse through certain books to see if it has the topics covered in the way it is done in the lectures, right? So there won't be like an exact one-on-one match between what is being told in the lecture and in the book that you choose to read or practice with, right? In the sense, the concepts would be the same, but then the way it is explained or the way they have approached it would be different. So it is better then, again, I would suggest the same thing to you. You can use internet as a resource, right? And based on what your topic is, whatever you want to practice, you can easily get worksheets from online sources. Now, there is no one source that I can suggest because usually what I do is I do a random Google search, right? So it shows me possible sites that can lead me to these kind of questions. So do that. If it is something related to say sounds and sentences and all that, especially sounds, you can come up with your own words, right? Or maybe just run through a textbook that is in front of you. You can pick out words from that, right? For other purposes, I'm sure if it is for parts of speech or model verbs and all that, there are numerous worksheets available even online. So you can take one of them and practice with that. Okay. Books, I do not know. I do not know to suggest, because for that I need to know at least 10 or 15 books which I have entirely read to suggest, right? For this topic, you can go there. That's an impractical activity. So if you find anything that is close enough to what is being discussed in a textbook, you can pick that up and read, no problem. But I would say to save some time and to make it more effective, it's better you use internet resources. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Okay, the next person, Hika. Hika?
Am I
Is that
audible, ma'am?
how do you say your name?
Hika.
Hika. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, tell me, Hika.
Ma'am, I've done all my assignments and practice assignments. But when I want to go for revision and when I go to my dashboard, it comes on YouTube of 2021 or 2023 videos. So can I watch these live classes for revision?
So for 2021, no, because English 1, I guess. You're from English 1, right?
Yes, ma'am.
No, the 2021 means, I think it is a bit old, as in the sense we have revised the syllabus after that. So if you're going to depend on the content from 2021 term, then there could be like massive changes there. It may not be similar to, no, he's talking about the uploads in YouTube.
Yeah, the playlist is updated.
Okay. But why, if the playlist is updated, then why are you getting these links from the playlist, or are you, finding this on your own from YouTube?
No, ma'am, when I go to dashboard and like I press on that, just suppose I go on chapter 1 for English, then it comes on YouTube.
And it shows 2021?
Yeah, previous year's explanations.
Okay, just give us a moment. She'll take a look at it and let you know, okay? It's a revised playlist. Okay, so we'll do one thing. You don't look at the other one. The link to the current terms playlist is posted in the chat, right? So you can use that. If Hika is still around, I don't see you. I should have repost the link, no?
Oh, sorry, ma'am. I went outside by mistake.
Yeah, yes. Please check your chat box. There is a link that is provided in your chat box, right? So this is the current playlist. This is the only one, actually. There is nothing else. Yeah, for the English 1 course, this is the playlist we're following now. You can use this playlist. We do not know why your dashboard shows the other one. Ideally, that shouldn't be the case, but please make a note of this. Please save this link somewhere. You can use this link to access the current playlist, okay?
Thank you, ma'am.
Sure, no problem. Okay, others, any other question? Rest of you?
We can close, leader.
Sure, sir. I think there was one more person who was raised.
Oh, okay. Just check. But if there is nobody, then we can close.
Sure, sir.
Okay.
Ma'am, now I have raised a question about the collocation. I have a study know something about the collocation, but a collocation word is a word that is a combination of the word, right? like heavy to heavy rain, deep to deep falling. I'm right here? Hmm. Does anyone listen to me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, please repeat yourself. I couldn't hear you clearly, Raghavendra. Can you please repeat the
Okay,
question for me? A little louder.
ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Okay, okay. About the collocation word. Now I have raised a question. Collocation word is a word which is the pair of the combination, right?
It's not
For
any pair,
example,
like we were discussing in the beginning. Any randomly combined words or paired words won't be called a collocation. For a word to be, to qualify as a collocation, it needs to frequently occur together. So two words are key here. One is co-occurrence. They should appear together and they should frequently appear together, right? The frequency of their appearing together should be higher. That's what makes a collocated pair. So like the example we discussed, no? Red chair. Now this is not a frequently occurring pair, right?
okay, red chair, ma'am.
A red chair. It's not frequently occurring because also the words that you have as a pair here, both individual words, red and chair, they can be combined with numerous other words. Like I said, you can have red bottle, red pen, red purse, red scarf. Similarly, with chair also, you can have it with many other adjectives, right? You can say tall chair, short chair. You can say red chair, yellow chair, iron chair, wooden chair, right? Plastic chair. So if the possibilities of combination is higher, then they're very weak. Then they're not collocated pairs, right? For collocation, you will have something like the expression that we use, heavy rain. So you can say heavy rain. Most often, it is only heavy rain. You don't say things like strong rain. Okay. Although words like heavy or strong or weighty, they have similar shades of meaning. They look like they are similar to each other, but still you cannot use an expression like strong rain. You can only say heavy rain. That is why heavy rain is a collocated pair. Okay.
Okay, and one more I have about the inflection. What is the inflection word, ma'am? What, not an inflection word. What is the inflection?
What is an inflection? Inflection is, if a word undergoes inflection, then they do not undergo a change in the category of the word. Okay, so for example, if you have a word like, categories like verbs, right? So whether I say jump or jumps or jumping, the meaning remains same. The category is same, right? They're all still verbs, right? All I'm doing is I'm adding inflection. So in jumps, I'm adding the, singular verb inflection. With ing, I'm giving a continuous form inflection, right? So it's still the verb.
Okay.
You don't change. The categories don't change. Whereas in derivational, the categories change. Okay. So let's say you say something like, what is an example? Teach, right? Teach and teacher. So I add the suffix er and teach, which is a verb, becomes noun, teacher. This is called derivational changes, or er is called a derivational morpheme. But ing, s and all are what you call as an inflectional morpheme because they don't change the category of the word involved. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. And about the modal verbs,
Yeah.
I have. Wait. Modal verb is a word which has show us a expression of the word, right? Like a probability, so may, might, must.
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. I have.
Correct.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Right. Next question. I don't know who raised the hand first. Anyone can go ahead and ask the question.
Let me correct if I'm wrong. Is adverbial particle is a part of phrasal verb. Like if I take example of turn off, then off is a adverbial verb.
Particle.
Adverbial
Yes.
particle.
Correct. Correct. Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. I cannot read your name. Purnima. Sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, Purnima, go ahead.
Ma'am, I am the student of English too.
Okay.
So I want to know in the first which one exam up to which week the questions will come.
Week 1 to 4, Purnima. 1 to
Week
4.
1 to okay.
Yes.
Okay, ma'am.
And ma'am, in quiz 2?
Quiz 2 is 1 to 8. And finals are 1 to 12.
It means all the things are happen same for English 1, English 2, Maths 1, Maths 2,
Yes,
right?
yes. It's the same for everyone. For foundation level, at least that's the case.
Okay.
Okay. Any other question? What is step-by-step process to improve my speaking English? What do you do every day? To begin with, you start reading at least for half an hour every day. Okay. Read something
Yes, ma'am.
for half an hour every day and watch something for half an hour every day. If you can afford
Hello.
more time into any of these, then you can do that as well. Okay.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello.
Sure.
May I
Somebody
speak?
else? Sorry? Yeah, go ahead.
I apologize for joining this meeting late. I had a doubt regarding the conversational practice program.
Okay.
Few days back, we got a notification at email. We got an email in which it was said that there is a conversational practice program for speaking English for the students who don't have access to conversational English around them.
Yes.
So I was wondering when it's going to start and what are we supposed to do in this program?
If you are selected to participate in the,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Sorry.
you are?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you?
What
If
is
you
the
are
criteria
selected,
of getting
then
selected?
what is the criteria of getting selected? I think that should have
Yes,
already
ma'am.
been explained in the email, right? You probably are supposed to respond to certain prompts that they send you. And they make a selection based on, certain criteria that they follow. They have certain eligibility criteria. They look through that and see whether you can attend the classes or not. Because see, understand this part that conversation practice is a very restricted session, right? Unless the team feels like, this is somebody who really requires hand-holding, right? To someone who doesn't have enough, participants to improve their, English speaking. Because they will say people come from neighborhoods where there's no one who uses English, right? There's
Yes,
an
ma'am.
insufficiency when it comes to that.
I'm in the similar condition right
So
now.
if that is the case, if it feels from your submission or from the way you have answered to their questions, then they would reach out to you, right? So if you have sent it already, I don't know if the mail is out yet. When
Yes, ma'am.
as and when the session start, they would send out an announcement. Just submit your, whatever submissions they ask you,
The
just
form,
make
ma'am.
that.
Google form.
They will reach out to you. Okay. So in case they have decided to add you to the cohort, then they'll write back to you. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Ma'am, come across is inseparable phrasal verb and close down is separable. Then how I can understand this.
Sorry, what are the phrasal verbs? Please repeat that.
Come
Please
across.
repeat that, no?
I'm
Come
writing
up.
in chat.
Okay.
Come across and close down. Both are different phrasal verbs each others. Then how I can understand is which is if I see first time this, then how I can understand them. Which is
That's not a
separable and
question. If you're coming
which is
across it for the
separable
first
and
time,
I'm
see,
asking
come
which
across
is separable.
separable phrasal verbs are the ones where you can use a personal pronoun or a noun in between the verb and the adverbial particle. Like in the case of close down, right? You can say close it down, right? Or close the shop down. So there is a noun or a personal pronoun that interferes between the complex of the verb and the adverbial particle. But the same thing you cannot do with a verb, phrasal verb like come across, right? You can't say come building across. I come building across on my way to the college. You can only say I came across the building on my way to the college, right? So if you cannot have any noun or personal pronoun in between these two particles, right? That is the verb and the adverbial particle, then you call them inseparable, right? If you can bring one in between, then you call them separable. Simple.
Okay, ma'am.
And inseparable, most of the phrasal verbs in English or other languages, they are separable in nature. Most of the times you're able to split it open. The inseparable ones are very few in number. Could be say 20 or 25 of them, not more than that. Okay. Okay.
Okay, thank you,
Is
ma'am.
that all? All right. Any other questions?
Ma'am, will it be okay if we open WhatsApp group?
I don't know about that. If you have unofficial groups, then you can. There is no official WhatsApp channels or groups from our end. You only have, I think, the discussion forum. And everything else is again communicated officially to you through mails and other systems for announcement, but no WhatsApp channels. That's within our jurisdiction. We do not do that. Okay, if there are no more questions, then we can wind up for today. We'll meet you again next week, same time.
Ma'am, which one is necessary for JEE based students?
What?
This one necessary for JEE based entry students, right to support team.
Oh, okay. I think you should try to the support team. This is for G
Which one
students,
is
right? So
necessary
they will
for
answer
JEE?
you clearly if that is a criteria they follow. Okay.
Ma'am. Hello.
Yes, Raghavendra, go ahead.
Ma'am, I have a different question, which is not a purpose of this meeting. Actually, when we will visit the campus, ma'am.
We cannot hear you, Raghavendra. Your voice is not clear.
Ma'am, I have a question which is not related to this meeting. When we will visit our campus, IIT Madras.
I do not know, Raghavendra. I cannot answer questions of this order. We can only clarify your doubts, related to contents. All these questions you should write to the admin and get it clarified. Okay.
Where, ma'am? So,
You
support
should write
team.
to the admin or the support. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Sure. Okay. All right. Thank you, all of you. We'll see you again next week.
Okay, ma'am.